Hi everyone, this is Sharon with Crafty Acres, and today I'm going to be potting up some tomato plants. These we have been growing since February 20th. We have some red currant cherry tomatoes, some sun sugar, and I think there's some mountain princess. Now, in our area, the frost-free date is April 25th by the Farmer's Almanac. And then we can still have frosts clear up to into May. Around Mother's Day is usually when our last frost is. So if we end up planting by the frost-free date for the Farmer's Almanac, we still have to protect them out in the garden. And we wanted to get a jump start on some of these tomato plants to be able to have, we sell at a farmer's market so that we can have early crop to sell at the farmer's market. And so we started these early. These red cherry currant tomatoes were extremely popular. Now they're a very tiny tomato, and it's almost as big as your pinky nail. And so it takes a little bit of time to pick them, but they're so prolific that you can just pick a whole bunch off in your hand at a time. And I had them in the garden last year. This year I'm going to grow them in pots because I think it's going to be easier. We can lift the pot up onto a picnic table, pick them, and then, whereas last year I was crawling around on the ground picking them. And I think it'll just be easier this year to be able to do it that way. A lot of these plants are going to go into bigger containers. Maybe some of them will, if they look super strong, we might be able to transplant them out into the garden once the time comes. But it's going to be a while. We've been having such drastic rains here in Ohio, southwestern Ohio, that it's not feasible to even begin to prep our gardens because the ground is just so wet. But we're going to jump into this, and I'm going to show you how you want to go ahead and pot them up. I have pots, bigger pots. Now these are not going to be their final pot that they're going to be planted in. I'm just using a step-up pots to be able to plant them in for right now. And then their last spot, the last pot will be about another month. And then we'll pot them in those. We're going to use a Schultz Starter Plus Fertilizer. This is a transplant solution. It promotes the new roots. It's a 5-10-5. So the phosphate is what actually helps produce the roots. And so I think this will help give them a little boost. We're going to try this out. I've never used it before. And I'm going to use the indoor amount, which is mix 2 capsules per gallon of water. So we'll go ahead and do that. Of course, you want to shake up any liquid fertilizer you have. And 2 capfuls. And this is a gallon of water. There we go. And then we'll just put this aside. And today it's a Schultz day, and I didn't mean for it to be a Schultz day. It just happens to be what we were able to get at a reasonable price at the store for potting soil. Let me see if I can't get this pulled up here. So we're just using the Schultz garden soil. It's for vegetables and flowers. This is a 2 cubic foot, and I think we paid $7.99 for it. So I'm just going to dive right in and get my stool out of here, and we'll just show you how we go about potting these up. So basically I'm just going to take, I'll just show on a couple of them, and then I'll get through the plants I just want to kind of get the biggest ones. These are the biggest 2 pots I have. That'll be a good one for in here. And then this looks like a pretty big one. And I'll kind of just show you how we do this. So there are holes in the bottom that you punch in, and that'll allow for, I just kind of bend it up, but I don't poke it out completely, because you want to kind of keep that so that it doesn't drain onto your floor. And then what I end up doing is I'm just breaking up the soil because sometimes it's a little clumpy. And what I do is I take my plant that I'm going to pot up. I'm going to take him out of his current pot. And he's not too root bound actually, but look at those roots. There's really nice roots on them. And I'm just going to kind of fry him out a little bit. He is going a little bit in a circle, but not too bad. And I just make an indentation in the bottom. I put that plant in there. And then I just take off anything that's going to touch the soil. So right up to there. And then I'm going to come in with this soil and just pack it around that root ball and around that stem. And I will have to get a stake of some sort to put in here for him. We have some tobacco stakes. This used to be a tobacco farm. We're here in Kentucky right now. So I can get a tobacco stake or something. But I'm going to pack it pretty well. All right. And then just give him a good drink of this starter. Fertilizer. And that's all there is to that one. I do need, like I said, I do need to get a stake because he wants to kind of lay over. But I'm going to put him back here for right now. This tote will help hold him up. Usually I dump my soil into that tote so I have it easy to be able to use. And then I'm going to do this Mountain Princess here. Now I'm just going to pinch off all the lower leaves like I did before. And all along here there's little fuzzies. These will turn into roots and it'll make it a lot stronger plant. Really nice roots again. And they're not root bound. But they're at the point where they need to be potted up. So again, I just make a little indentation at the bottom of the pot. Put my plant in. Grab another pot and pull out some soil. Okay. I have some more plants that I'm going to be starting from seed at my place in Ohio, and so I don't have the stuff with me, but I'm going to show you 3 different ways. I'll get that done. Make sure you put your tags in each one so you know what variety you have. But that's all there is to it. And as the plant grows, we can we'll end up putting this one into like a 5-gallon pot, and you can grow them into 5-gallon buckets. I've heard people do that before. You just put holes in the bottom and grow them into 5-gallon buckets. You can also grow them in those it's a supplement feed. It's a supplement lick for cattle. If you can get a hold of those, once the cattle are done licking all the supplement out, there's big plastic tubs, and you can use those. Just put holes in the bottom of those. Those work really well too. And I have a couple of those because we have cattle, and I'll be using some of those. I also, my dad goes to Goodwill, and he found those kid tubs with the rope on it, so he grabs them whenever he sees them cheap, and he grabs them for me. So that those are a few different options of what you can plant these up into once they're bigger, once they get bigger and need to be put in their final spot. I only like to transplant them a couple of times, and then it seems like they work out, it just works out better. So I just bump it up quite a bit, put in these. These will be fine until they go into their final resting place for the season. So I hope that you found this interesting, and if you have any comments of what kind of tin containers you like to grow your tomatoes in, or what size containers you grow your tomatoes in, please put it in the comments below. I love to read your comments. And until next time, we'll see you later. Bye.